You think hurting a good woman is just another argument? Just another moment that will pass. But psychology reveals something most men realize far too late. When a good woman is deeply hurt, something inside her quietly changes. And once that shift happens, nothing between you will ever feel the same again. A good woman doesn't explode when she's hurt. She absorbs it. At first, she tries to understand you. She replays your words in her mind at night, searching for reasons that make the pain easier to accept. She tells herself you're stressed, that you didn't mean it. That love sometimes goes through difficult seasons. This is the silent phase of emotional processing, something psychologists often connect to attachment, patterns, and emotional intelligence. She gives empathy even when she is the one bleeding. But every painful word, every moment of neglect, every broken promise leaves a mark beneath the surface. Not dramatic, not visible. Just small cracks forming inside the trust she once had for you. And here's what many people fail to understand. A good woman doesn't leave when she first feels pain. She leaves emotionally long before she physically walks away. At first she talks. She explains her feelings. She asks for understanding. She hopes you'll notice the shift in her voice, the quiet sadness behind her smile. Because when a woman loves deeply, she doesn't want to lose the connection. She wants to repair it. But if the pain continues, something powerful begins to happen inside her mind. Her nervous system slowly stops seeking safety in you. Psychology calls this emotional detachment, and it rarely happens overnight. It happens through repetition, repeated disappointment, repeated emotional wounds. Eventually, her mind starts protecting her heart in ways you may not even notice. She becomes quieter, calmer, less reactive. You may think things are improving because the arguments stop. The tension disappears. She no longer fights to explain herself. But what you're actually witnessing is emotional withdrawal, because a woman who once fought for love is now conserving her energy for survival. And this is where the real shift begins. Instead of trying to fix the relationship, she begins fixing herself. She reflects. She rebuilds her confidence. She reconnects with the parts of her identity that slowly disappeared while loving someone who didn't fully value her heart. Her attention moves away from you, and something else quietly returns. Her self-respect. This transformation is deeply psychological. When someone repeatedly experiences emotional pain, the brain eventually rewires its attachment patterns. The person who once felt like home slowly becomes a source of emotional threat. That's when boundaries appear. Not loud ones. Not dramatic ultimatums, just calm distance. She stops explaining herself. Stops chasing reassurance. Stops asking for emotional validation. Instead, she observes, because once trust fractures too many times, the mind stops investing emotional hope in the same place. And here's the part most men misunderstand. When a good woman becomes silent, peaceful, and emotionally distant, it doesn't mean she stopped caring in a moment. It means she cared for so long without being heard, that her heart finally chose peace over pain. Psychologists often describe this as the moment when emotional energy shifts inward. The love she once poured into someone else begins returning back to herself. You'll notice subtle changes. She laughs again, but not with the same softness she once reserved for you. She seems calmer, but strangely unreachable. The emotional door that was once wide open is now gently closed, not out of revenge, but out of self-protection. And sometimes, by the time a man realizes the depth of what he lost, the woman he hurt has already healed enough to stop looking back. There's a quiet psychological truth many people overlook. A relationship rarely ends when love disappears. It ends when emotional safety disappears, because love can survive many things. But respect, once repeatedly broken, teaches the heart a powerful lesson about distance. So if you ever notice a good woman becoming calmer, quieter, and emotionally steady after being hurt, don't assume the storm has passed. Sometimes that calmness is not forgiveness. Sometimes it's the final stage of emotional closure. And by the time the silence arrives, the part of her that once fought for the relationship may already be gone, leaving behind only a woman who finally chose herself, and a man left wondering when everything quietly changed.